All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome into our Financial Aid Fridays. Basically, it's a live session that we're hosting here on AC's Facebook webpage. And our goal for Financial Aid Friday is to, educate students and help them learn ways to, that ACC can help them pay for or help them pay for paying for college. Sorry, I got, woo. But my name is Amber Rodriguez. I work with the Financial Aid Department at ACC, and our whole spiel is we're here to help students find cash for college, right? Um, but yeah, so I would like to introduce our host, our co-host, Nuri. Nuri, if you'd like, do you want to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, Amber. It's great to be here with our viewers. I am studying criminal justice at ACC, and I came to ACC because I assisted to a meeting um, where they explained how ACC works and my career opportunities. So I decided to assist to ACC, and I'm looking forward to share more about my ACC financial aid experience in my time here.
Nice. Okay, criminal justice. That's awesome. Okay. Thank you so much for talking a little bit about yourself, Nuri. We appreciate you being here with us. But later on, we'll hear more about Nuri throughout the session. But for now, I would like to take a few minutes and just talk about the top three things you need to know about financial aid, right? So, for those who are here watching, please feel free to add any questions you may have in the chat box for us, and we'll get to them momentarily. But yeah, so let's go through them. So, number one thing that you need to know about financial aid is you have options, right? So, to pay for college, our number one recommendation is to complete the FAFSA. So, what the FAFSA is, it's an application that you fill out every year to apply for three specific things: for grants, which is free money; for loans, which is borrowed money; and then also for work study, right? So part-time jobs that you can get at ACC. And FAFSA, if you've never heard of it, it stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And it's eligible for students who are US citizens or who have like a permanent residence. And if you're not a permanent resident, if you're not a US citizen, if you're undocumented, we also have what's called the TAFSA, which is the Texas application for state financial aid. But if you ever get confused about which one you want to apply for, definitely feel free to reach out to the financial aid office, and we'll make sure to help you, pick the right one, figure out. So FAFSA, number one. Yeah, so Nuri, I wanted to ask you a question. As a current student at ACC, what has been your experience applying for financial aid? Like, did you feel it was easy applying for FAFSA or a little bit difficult for you?
As a first time college student in my family, it was really hard for me to complete everything. I remember I completed my FAFSA application online, um,
Mm.
but I didn't know how to submit my parents' signature. So I went to a campus and they assisted me over there to get it completed.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I was also the first in my family to go to college, and financial aid, paying for college was so scary because I didn't know where to start. But definitely when I came to ACC, I could talk to financial aid office and they could show me my options, and it felt less scary. I could focus more on like homework and school and less on like how I'm going to pay for tuition, right? So thank you for that. Yeah, so number one, you have options. Number two that we want to talk about for what to know about financial aid is it's not too late to apply. So regardless of where you're at in your journey, with college, for the financial aid, when you apply with FAFSA or TAFSA, you can always still apply. So you can receive money for this fall semester if you're going to go in for the fall, and that's why we have these financial aid Fridays so that we can help students understand, like, yo, like it's time, right? The fall semester is coming. And then you can also pay for, next year in the spring as well with FAFSA. So definitely review if you are eligible for FAFSA or TAFSA, so that you have that money and you have your classes lined up, don't have to worry about paying for them, right? Um, so yeah, and then back to you, Nuri. My next question for you: were there any things you wish you knew before you started the financial aid process? Like going back, do you have any advice for students who are about to embark on the processes of financial aid, applying for FAFSA?
Yes, I wish I knew to keep my information contact on up to date to save
Mm,
as much as I could for my classes and applying with the correct information.
yeah, I see. Yeah, I think it's really important just because, like, when you go depending on like where you live in Austin, you might pay, out of district or in district tuition. So it really does depend. So making sure to keep your contact information super important, especially like when you receive like financial aid information in the mail. That's important too. So that's a really good one, actually. Yeah. All right. So we got through the two things right now, right? Which is FAFSA, and knowing it's not too late to apply for FAFSA and for financial aid. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about, for what you need to know about financial aid is that we are here to help, right? So, financial aid office is happy to answer any questions that you have for, anything related to financial aid, tuition, understanding your um, the resources that we have, and we can assist you on completing the FAFSA application itself. You can walk into one of our campuses, any campus, AC campus, or you can talk to us, have a one on one session online through our virtual financial aid office. And yeah, so students can ask for help on the website, they can call in. Whatever it may be, we're definitely here to answer your questions and make sure that you maximize financial aid 100% for college, right? So, um, last thing I wanted to ask today for to you, Nuri, is how did the staff at the ACC Financial Aid Office help you complete some of the financial aid processes?
My first semester at ACC was terrible because
Why?
I was on on campus, going on campus, and then COVID hits, and I had to go online out like in full. So it was kind of a big process to go through.
Mm,
ACC managed to provide resources for students to communicate. So the financial aid is always there to help every time I call or email for help.
yeah, absolutely. Um, I think it's really important for students to understand, like we said, we are definitely here to help. So I'm glad that AC was able to help you, especially like during COVID, where it's like you can't really go in to talk to anybody physically, face to face. It's really important that we have some resources online for students to take advantage of. So I'm glad that even though it was a rough start to your semester, what with COVID going on, you were still able to finish through, especially you could worry less about tuition and finances again and more about your studies. So, yeah, awesome, awesome. Okay. So we're at around 2:40, which is great. We're doing really good on time. What we can do now is we can review the chat box, see if we have any questions from our viewers. Let me see if there's like a comment. Let's go. Let's see here. Hello, I'm an AC student, current welding major. Awesome. Okay. I graduate this fall. Oh, that's so exciting. I'm interested in pursuing a degree in information technology. Okay. That's up my alley, by the way. I'm a computer science major. My question, does my eligibility change if I finish my welding degree? So, if you finish your welding degree, awesome, finish off strong. And then when you start your new degree in information technology, there should be like no eligibility restrictions. Definitely talk to a financial aid office advisor to see what your options are. But they shouldn't cut off your aid just because you've already gotten a degree. Especially when you fill out your FAFSA, you fill out your FAFSA like normal, except you just say, "Hey, I've already gotten a degree," right? But yeah, that's a really good question. I think it's Raj. Thank you so much for that comment. Finish strong, like I said before, and that's really cool. A welding degree, um, con- connected with like an information technology. Like you have the best of both worlds. Honestly, that's really cool. I hope that answers your question. Yay! Okay, so let me see if there's any other comments, anything like that. If not, let's see. We do have a couple of frequently asked questions that we can go ahead and talk about. So, one of them being, how do I check the status of my financial aid application? Which is a really big one because when you apply for FAFSA, we also want to know, like, how do we know if we've gotten that financial aid, right? So, what you can do is you can go to the FAFSA website, which is the studentaid.org that we had earlier, or .gov, and you can just sign in and you should be able to see the status of your financial application there. Also, FAFSA is really good about just emailing you. So when you finish the FAFSA application, um, you also get an email saying, "Hey, we've received your application. It's under review," and they'll email you when the FAFSA application has been accepted or not. So yeah, yeah, of course, Raj. Of course. Thank you so much for commenting. Okay. Let me see. What else is there? Um, are there any requirements I need to keep in mind to be able to keep my financial aid? So this kind of goes back to Raj's question, which is like definitely I guess the main thing is finish strong. Make sure to try to pass all your courses as much as possible. I mean, we get it. You might have a teacher that you just don't vibe with, and like maybe you're not passing course. But in order to keep receiving financial aid throughout the semester, it's really important just to keep up with classes. And if all else fails, or even before that, make sure to reach out to one of our financial aid offices, advisors, and just have a conversation saying, hey, like, I'm not doing so well in this one class. What can I do? Like, I don't want my financial aid to be affected. How will this be affected? Things like that. But yeah, just making sure that you just keep in contact with us. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it with questions. There was a thank you comment, um, all that good stuff. Let me see. I know we have a few more minutes, so let me make sure that I went through everything. Yeah, I did. Um, does anybody else have any questions about financial aid, things like that? If not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. But yeah, so Nuri, thank you so much for being here with us. Do you have any final remarks to talk about before we leave today?
No, just thank you for having me with you here today, and I hope everyone is doing well.
Yeah, yeah, and we appreciate you, coming in. Nuri, she was uh, lovely. She came in at last minute, but you know what? Like it all just worked out really well. But yeah, so thank you so much, Nuri, for being here, for being with the Financial Aid Friday with us. I enjoyed, our little afternoon chat, and we definitely look forward to the next Financial Aid Friday session. So don't forget, if you have any questions about getting cash for college, you can reach out to us anytime on our website at austincc.edu/FinAid, which is short for financial aid. The link will be below in the chat. I hope everybody has a good afternoon and a wonderful weekend. It's Friday.